Okay, so today we are dealing with a little bit of a blight out in our one of our raised beds on our patio. And this happens every year to something. Usually it's like cucumber plants or squash plants or whatever. Certain ones are more susceptible, but we've got powdery mildew on our zinnias, and this is, like I say, a pretty common occurrence. um, we have high humidity. We're heading into summer, and we've got high humidity, and but yet it's not raining. So we've got quite a bit of this powdery mildew coming on, and I actually need to just take that down. But as you can see, several leaves are infected. Some are not. Some of the newer growth is okay, but we're going to go ahead and treat everything, and we're going to go ahead and try to use a baking soda solution first. I could use neem oil. There's a couple other, chemicals that I could use, but I'm going to try some baking soda this time and see how it does, to clear it up and kind of help treat it and maintain it. I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, I guess sometimes I use these for cut flowers, but I'm going to take that down to that. But so I'm out here trying to create some room, some airflow, because that's one of the big issues. Is if there's no airflow, that's how it can get started. And also, I should mention that these are not really the zinnias that we grew these from seed, and we thought they were going to be much more compact based on the measurements that they're supposed to be, but they're not. They're definitely the tall ones, and we've got them in here, and this is not the best place for them to be, but here they are. So we're just going to go with this for a little while. I really don't feel like it's a good time of the year to transplant them now with it being so hot, but it could happen. But anyway, so I've been in here cleaning out the extra leaves down at the bottom. You can see there's a lot of just, oh, and also grasshoppers. Also dealing with a ton of grasshoppers, and they love to munch on these leaves, which I'm really amazed, because these leaves are kind of, you can see I'm using my gloves. Um, they're kind of hairy and spiny, and they're not. I didn't think that they were that great for munching, but nobody told the grasshoppers. So anyway, but I'm going in and I'm cleaning out like old dead stuff, and I'm also taking off leaves that have like a lot of the powdery mildew on them. I don't want to take all the leaves off that have it, because that would be a lot. But like, I'm just kind of going in and selectively, whoops, trying to just, and these are pretty sturdy plants. They can be manhandled to a degree, but just trying to go in and just take several off. Plus, I don't want to have to treat all of those leaves that were on there. So anyway, but so we're fighting, two different things: powdery mildew. We need airflow. We need it to quit being so humid, and the grasshoppers are eating on stuff. So, as a matter of fact, I've shooed a bunch away. I've killed a couple. They're over here just to mention, and I think a bunch of them moved over here and are, working over the some herbs over here. I've got some basil that I can see that they've been working on. So anyway, and when and I'm just getting rid of some. That one was kind of pretty, but getting rid of some blooms and some stalks and stuff, and having to sacrifice a little bit. But this is all not going in the compost. This is going in the trash. So we don't want that in our compost, because that powdery mildew uh, it'll hang around for a while, and we don't want it, because we use our compost for other, down the road plantings. So anyway, I'm just going through and just kind of selectively, and sometimes not so selectively, pruning off some of these leaves. And Trying to get some of this, like I say, some airflow through here, get some of the dead off. So I think we're looking pretty good. I'll probably continue to, every time I come by, I'll probably be picking. And plus we've kind of we've got this crazy guy over here that's kind of gotten out of control, and it was kind of encroaching into the area of this guy, and so I'm trying to separate those. And that one really actually needs a pretty good haircut, and I'll work on this side of it here in a little bit. But that was just two plants that actually wintered over in with some other plants, and we found them this spring hanging out in the greenhouse. So we just threw those two plants in here, and this is what happened. And those were from seed from last year that we had. So it's not beautiful this morning because everything's not opened up yet, but this can be pretty showy, and it's just so pretty. But my goodness, it gets to be quite the monster. So anyway, so I've got my solution of baking soda, water, and some soap. And it's not dish soap. It's just like a hand soap, like Castile soap. And I put it in the sprayer, and I'm hoping that, that this sprayer will do me some good here. Uh-oh, I lost a little guy there. Here, let me, real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and take this all the way down there. And that happens. But I tried not to manhandle it too hard. But anyway, so I'm just, going to really douse this down. It's fairly early in the morning. The sun's not over here yet, and it'll be just, a little bit. You want to get the tops of the leaves, and you want to get the underneath side. So if you have a sprayer, that can kind of help. Otherwise, you're just going to be worn out. See, here's some leaves that I really don't want to stay on. I've been around this thing like 4 times already, and I just keep seeing areas that need attention. So it's just hard to know. And you can do this as a prevention, but who thinks, oh, I'm going to get powdery mildew this year? Well, we almost always do. So there's that. But it's just a matter of getting in here and just kind of dousing it down. And of course, when you wet it down, it looks better because you don't see that so much. And I'm kind of hoping that the grasshoppers don't like baking soda, but you know what? They probably do. I don't know. So let me go ahead and take that leaf too. At some point, I guess, I was like, oh, I'm going to leave these leaves and these leaves. And now I come back and I'm like, I'm not leaving that leaf. Why would I leave that leaf? I'm just making sure that I really do a good dousing. And again, this is not the optimal spot for these. But here they are, and we're going to go with it for now and hope that we can at least alleviate some of this issue as we kind of figure out what else we want to do in this spot. And I did take some plants out. There were a few plants. Let me recharge my spray here. But we did take out a few plants out of the center because they just weren't doing well, for one. And again, we're trying to create some airflow through here. So it's nice and breezy today, so I can kind of see that it is getting, yeah, I think it kind of got burnt a little bit right there. You can see sort of those, and that could be, who knows, from what. We try not to, we don't usually top water, and certainly not during the heat of the day, or during the sunny time of the day. But yeah, so just trying to get this just all up in here. And it's going to take me a minute because, trying to get underneath. Some of these could probably go. That's quite a lot of leaves on one little area. I'm going to go ahead and take some of those out. I left my bucket on the other side, so I've always got lots of debris here, there, and yon. See, I keep seeing spots over on where I've already been. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea, and we will come back and check on these. This needs to happen at least, once a week, really, to be effective. And that's if it doesn't, rain a ton. If we get a bunch of rain, which I think we're supposed to get rain tonight, but there's no guarantee of that. But if it rains, you want to do it a little more often. And, it could be, if you come out here every day and do it, I don't think it would hurt it necessarily. I don't know that this guy is really viable. He needs to stay there, because these were not really intended to be falling over the edge here. We thought they would, at least grow a little more straight up. But again, here we are. And, they're otherwise healthy and growing and doing great. And always interesting to see, something that we grew from seed. But anyway, so we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to keep applying, and we'll report back and let you know how it went. And that is what is going on today.